So Simmers, it's ThatSimminWitch here, and we are making over the Bailey Moon household this Makeover Monday. So the in-game lore basically says that Thorne is a famous musician who's recently gone through a bit of a scandal and is trying to recover his rep. But it also kind of implies that he maybe takes a little bit of credit for the work that his wife Octavia does. It kind of implies that maybe Octavia is like the creative talent behind the music, like that she writes the songs or the music, and Thorne gets to take all the credit for that. But obviously also they have little Orange who lives with them, their son. He in the description basically it says that he's maybe a little bit sheltered and naive, and maybe a little bit spoiled too, since he is the child of two rich celebrities, like almost like he doesn't really have any friends. But anyway, I really want to get into it because I've got some expanding to do on the lore of Thorne, because me and Thorne, we have quite a bit of beef. So, as you may have guessed, I am not a big fan of Thorne. Oh, that's hard to say. I think that he is really arrogant and self-absorbed and just like basically a celebrity that's been celebrating for a long time and just looks out for themselves and not for anyone else. Even the family that they live with, that are supposed to be the people that are most close to them and the people that they love, they're all about themselves and they don't really care about anyone else. So Thorne is not my favourite, shall we say. So because Thorne has been a celebrity for such a long time in my headcanon, he's probably had lots of scandals in his past, but because because he's been around for so long, maybe social media didn't exist then, so things were a little bit easier to sort of like sweep under the rug and not make such a big deal of. But like now, with social media playing as big a part of life as it does, Thorne has found himself in hot water and is really finding it difficult to climb his way out because of like how popular social media is and how easy things spread. So in my headcanon, his scandal is sort of multifaceted. There's not just like one scandal, it's like a lot of little things that have sort of built up and become a really big thing, and everyone is a bit like, oh my god, why is this man so famous and so popular? And basically the first thing, probably one of the most obvious things, is that Thorne has not been a faithful husband. He messes around on Octavia all the time, in my opinion. I don't know if you saw, but in the likes and dislikes, I don't normally put appearance as one of the things in the turn on and turn off selection. I don't usually bother doing appearance. I prefer to do it by personality, because appearances changed in The Sims. So I in that I did actually do it this time, and I made it that he was attracted to blondes and not attracted to people with dark hair like his wife Octavia. So I feel like that he is someone who, like, he's in this relationship, he's married to Octavia, they have their son, but he isn't really committed to his family. He likes the idea of the family, he likes the image of the family, but he actually just wants to be a player. So he messes around on his wife with lots of young hot blondes, like a lot of celebrities do. Well, celebrity men, shall we say. So I feel like that he is only really married to Octavia because of the image, but also because she's been the talent behind his music for such a long time, and she's a family-oriented sim, so she obviously wants her family, she wants to have like kids and her life like her life with her family is a big part of who she is. So if it kind of, in my headcanon, Thorne is basically with her because he didn't want to lose the talent behind the writing of his music. He wanted to make sure that Octavia stayed with him and continued to produce the music that he's so famous for, so that so that's why he married her, basically. So it's all a little bit complicated, and like I said before, with like the rise of social media, there've been lots of women that have been coming out of the woodwork and basically saying that they've been sleeping with or woohooing with Thorne, and that he is definitely not a faithful husband and is a massive player. But to kind of add on to this, I feel like he's also really old school. So like he basically wants to present a certain way, but he doesn't actually like uphold the values that he thinks he believes in. So like he wants to present that he is sort of a modern man, shall we say, so that he isn't a misogynist, and he supports like LGBTQ plus rights and things like that. But actually I think he's actually a tiny bit bigoted. There's a part of him that maybe like he's not fully like committed to being a bigot, like he's not really like abusive to people that aren't straight people, but I do think that like there's a part of him that thinks it's weird and he doesn't understand it, and so like he kind of is a bit scared of it and sort of pushes it away. So yes, that's kind of like my multifaceted scandal, that people have been finding things out like that about him, that maybe he isn't like this amazing musician and family man and like person that he has been making everyone believe for all these years, but in fact he's actually a bit of a shit. So that is like my headcanon for Thorne. So there is a little bit more to the scandal, but I don't want to talk about that just yet. I'm going to leave that until we get to Orange, because it's to do with Orange. So yeah, I don't want to harp on about that too much. I'm going to start talking about his style a little bit. I just want to quickly say that I'm sorry if you hear a lot of noise. It's really busy on the road near where I live at the moment, and also my cats are in the room because they were playing me up, and they're just causing havoc. They're having a zoomy moment, so I'm really sorry if there's any noise. I'm really trying to stop and edit around it as much as possible. So in terms of style with Thorne, I've tried to give him sort of a bit of a poser look. I kind of want him to sort of show everybody that he's rich and famous, but also give a little bit of an air as if like he doesn't care and that like he doesn't really want people to notice. So it's a little bit of a difficult kind of style to describe, but anyway, so as you can see, he wears like pretty much all gold. Well, he does wear all gold jewelry, and I've tried to incorporate gold a lot in his outfits. I just think that like he wants people to know that he's rich enough to drape himself in gold, basically, and that's really important to him. For one of his athletic outfits that you saw a second ago, he did get put in the like all the gold and white American football outfit. He is an athletic sim, and I feel like that he definitely would think that he was some amazing sports person. Where the car came from, I don't know. And that he basically deserved to be an MVP, and that's why he gets the gold uniform, and that's why he chooses to dress up like that for his athletic wear. So I really did want the clothes to feel sort of designer, if you like. I didn't want them to just feel like he could have picked them up from anywhere. I wanted them to feel a little bit more special than that. There is sort of like an element, especially for like nightwear and swimwear, where like I wanted him to show off his body, because obviously he is very like muscly and toned, and I feel like that he would think that it would be wasted hiding that body away. So that's the kind of thoughts I had when I was choosing his outfits. Some of its outfits are also a little bit like eccentric, maybe, more because like often like celebrities have a bit more of an eccentric like wardrobe. I guess it's probably because they're styled rather than picking clothes than that they actually want to wear. So I did kind of like want to make him sort of like look a little bit eccentric, look like he's wearing designer clothes, sort of like really just give off the air of like, I'm a celebrity and I'm here to slay. So I did also give him that little anchor tattoo on his face, and as soon as I saw that in the business and hobbies pack when like that came out, I'm like, I know who needs that tattoo, and that is Thorne Bailey. So that's why I gave him that tattoo. I've been wanting to give him that for ages. So yes, he got that tattoo simply because I think that just sort of like, it kind of like looks like he's trying to sort of keep up with the kinds of like musicians that are sort of around now, but like also like where he's been in the business a little bit longer, he hasn't like fully committed quite as much as some people, like some musicians with like their face tattoos or their more visible tattoos. And also hair wise, I went for those like little like braids hair. It's from high school years. I did that because I thought like it has sort of like a really old school feeling, but it kind of also at the same time makes it feel like that Thorne is like trying to be fresh and trying to be fashionable or hip, and I just like thought that it kind of like suited his vibe. Like he's got that sort of like clearly bleached blonde hair that he has, and like I don't know, it just like, I just think that everything about him screams fake and phony, and this is all of a facade, and that's really, really what I wanted to sort of like put across with his like fashion sense. And like some of the outfits I chose, it was that kind of like I'm so masculine, it's gone all the way back around to feminine again kind of feeling to them, like a lot of like hyper masculine men are. I just really wanted to sort of like give that like air to Thorne. Like I think like I pull it off, it works really well on him. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's really quite difficult to talk about, and like if I'd have described what I wanted to like someone else to put him in, like if someone else was styling him under my instruction, it would be really difficult for me to advise them what to wear. It was one of those kind of things that like when I saw the outfits or the items that I was putting on him, I knew that that's what I wanted him in. And like it took me a little while to get going with him because of that, like because I needed to kind of like take it all in to sort of like see what there was, see where I was going with it, rather than like some of the like the makeovers that I've done, I've known exactly what I've wanted to put the Sims in before I've even started, really. So while we're finishing up with Thorne, I do want to say that these are now on my gallery. My gallery ID is ThatSimminWitch. I do try to pin them to the front page of my gallery for whatever makeover I'm doing that week. So at the moment these are pinned to my gallery. Last week it was the Delgatos that were pinned to the front of my gallery. I do that just to make it easier, so if anyone sees them in the video and then wants them for their game, all they have to do is find me and then they can instantly see my made over versions. I really do that because like the links to the gallery are really dodgy and they don't always work when you put them in the description, so that's probably the easiest way to find the made over versions that I've been doing. or any of the things that I make in The Sims, if you want them in your game. So let's move on now anyway to Octavia. So until recently, I didn't really have that big of an opinion on Octavia. I hadn't really interacted with her much in game, but in one of my own personal games, I've been playing in Del Sol Valley, and my sim happened to make friends with her. So I've kind of got to know Octavia a little bit, and I've got a little bit of a soft spot for her now. But I just really wanted to I think that her fashion that she's been put in by EA, her towny version, it really I feel it makes her look a lot older than what she really is, and I don't want that for her. I want her to look younger. And one of my feelings for or one of my little headcanon pieces for Octavia is that obviously because she's with Thorne, she's surrounded by people that want to make her up and make sure that she's wearing the correct clothes and make sure she's fashionable and whatever. And I feel like Octavia doesn't really have that in her. She's not really that fussed. She just wants to write and be with her family and just get on with her life. She doesn't want to be the clothes horse that often happens when someone's famous. So that's the kind of sort of thing that I had in the back of my mind when I was choosing her clothes, was that I wanted her to be sort of as if she'd been styled that way, that maybe she wasn't super comfortable in those clothes, they weren't necessarily the clothes that she would have picked herself. There are a few outfits where I've sort of let her be, if you like, where I've sort of especially ones that are sort of ones that you would wear at home and not outside. I've tried to make them a little bit more she's picked them and they're just the clothes that she feels comfortable in, and she doesn't have to perform or put on a show for anyone. She just literally can just be comfortable and just enjoy her time at home with her family, chilling. So colour scheme wise, I didn't really have a set colour scheme that I wanted to put Octavia in. I kind of ended up accidentally putting her in quite a lot of blue, and I think that's just because I really like the blue against her skin tone. I just think they work really well together, and I think in the sort of role playing, if you like, as a stylist who would be styling a celebrity, that they would maybe make the most of that situation. If they were picking a dress or whatever for a celebrity and a colour happened to look really good on them, then of course they're going to roll with it. They're not going to make them look stupid, or not intentionally anyway. So that's the real reason sort of why she's wearing quite a lot of blue. I didn't really intend for that to happen. It just kind of evolved as I was picking her clothes. But I did shorten her hair and I gave her curly hair. I wanted her to have sort of more natural hair that she would naturally have, rather than the smooth ponytail that she wears in most of her looks in the EA towny version of her. I just wanted to sort of that be an element to her. She's of all the things that I really want, I just want to be able to have my hair how I want it, how I'm comfortable, how it's easy for me to look after, even if there's not a stylist around that's going to be doing it for me. That's why I wanted her to have her curls. I think they look really good on her as well. They look so much better than that long straight hair. I think she just looks so much younger, and just she doesn't look like a middle-aged woman now. She looks like a young adult, like she's supposed to. So she did end up in a fair few little dresses. She's got some jeans and stuff for more edgier looks. But in her formal wear, I really wanted one that was a gown type thing for if she was going to some kind of award ceremony. I really think that she would have to wear something that was super spot on for all the awards that Thorne is winning, when really it should be Octavia. So that's why I went for this pink dress. I thought like it's fashionable, it kind of shows her body and her like her curves, and the colour like looks really good on her skin tone. Like I did toy with like giving it a different colour or like one of the patterned versions, but I think like just having the plain one looked like it was more expensive, if that makes sense. Like it like having the patterns like cheapened it a little bit, so that's why I went for the plain one. Like I really just, yeah, I wanted her to be like ready for like a red carpet, like for them to all be shouting like, "Who are you wearing?" like, at her. But yeah, I think that she looks absolutely stunning in that dress. Her second formal wear, I wanted something that was like a little bit more business, if you like, so that she had like the sort of like the gown situation and then the business situation, where she was sort of like covered in sort of both areas of the kinds of like formal wear that she would be wearing. And yeah, I absolutely love the jacket that I put her in. I put quite a lot of Sims in that jacket. I think it's really versatile. It works in a lot of situations. Like depending on what you pair it with, it can look like sort of like really super vintage, or it can look really like high fashion. It can look really alternative. Like I went for the blue like patterned trousers with it from Business and Hobbies, and I just think like it sort of like is business, but it screams fun as well. Like it's fun and young, and I just think that like it just looks really cool on her. Like it's like one of my favorite outfits that I put her in. I just think she looks really, really funky, and like she is ready to make her money. So I think that's kind of like what put me off of sort of interacting with Jasmine previously in my Sims games. Like the fact that she kind of didn't really have very good like fashion, that she kind of looked a lot older than she actually was. She kind of didn't seem like she was going to gel very well with the kinds of Sims that I play with, and so most of the time she just like gets ignored by me. But yeah, if it hadn't have been for the sim that I was playing that accidentally befriended her, I wouldn't have realised how sweet she actually is. And I do think that EA did her a real dirty one by not like making the most of how cute she is, and like giving her like clothes and stuff that made her look really old and just like old fashioned. Just really quickly, there's a good chance that I might have called her Jasmine at some point in this video. I for some reason always want to call her Jasmine. I know her name's Octavia, and I just for some reason always call her Jasmine. There was a sim in Sims 3 called Jasmine Moon, and I don't know if like for some reason my brain, they're not even similar at all, but like my brain just wants me to call her Jasmine all the time. But yes, I just wanted to let you know about that, just in case you're really confused. But in her sleepwear, we saw then, just a second ago in the first one, that that's one of the outfits that I kind of let her choose, if you like, what her outfit was going to be. So she's just wearing a t-shirt and some underwear, and I kind of think that like the t-shirt could be Thorne's t-shirt. She just like chucked that on, decided to go to bed. She's comfortable, and she just wants to be like left alone. She doesn't have to impress anyone. She just wants to be snugly in her t-shirt and comfortable in bed and just, yeah, chilling out. So they're the kinds of like little tiny bits that I've like added in of like Octavia coming through, like breaking through the like fashionista like element that she has to have. In her hot weather outfit, her second one that I do like as the indoor one, I did a kind of similar thing with that. I made that a little bit more casual and a little bit more like sort of like she's not going anywhere, so she's going to be staying home and just chilling out. She doesn't have to impress anyone, no cameras, no social media, just her and her family having a chill day at home. So like, yeah, I just didn't want her to be all like perfect, because to me, Octavia doesn't give that kind of vibe off. She gives the vibe off that she has like those tiny little bits of like sort of humanity, if you like, in her. She's not just a mannequin that wears clothes. She's a full person that needs to be able to just let go sometimes, just not have to be perfect 100% of the time. So in her party wear outfits, I did try and like give her a little bit more jazz and a little bit like more personality. The first one, like with the red sort of like leotard kind of thing from the Urban Kit, I kind of thought that felt a little bit more Jasmine, a little bit less curated. Octavia, see, I did it then, so I've definitely called her Jasmine at least once. Um, so yeah, I thought that felt a little bit less curated and maybe something that she would have picked out her wardrobe herself. This second party wear one, like the green, I absolutely think this like looks amazing on her. Like, I really love the green on her skin. Like, oh, she just looks absolutely amazing. But I feel like that one was definitely styled for her. There is no way that she would have picked those items of clothing and put them together. They are really not like something that Octavia thinks that she would like pull off, basically. So yeah, I really wanted sort of like a little bit more spice in her like party wear, which I think I managed just about anyway. So for her warm weather outfit, the outdoor one, I did get her in some blue again. She's got this really easy dress on from Island Living, which I really like. It kind of really like, it makes sense, I think, with like the kind of fashion angle that I was going for with her. It like looks really good on her, and it's jazzed up with like her jewelry and like the little headscarf and everything, but it is also like practical and cool for like it being like hot weather. And also, again, the blue looks absolutely fabulous on her skin. It just is just the perfect shade, and I just really liked it. Actually, I really liked how like the beaded necklace that she was wearing really jazzed that like little dress up. Like, normally I don't really consider that dress sort of very like sort of special, if that makes sense. It's kind of one of those things that it's like, oh, we'll just shove this on, it's like easy to wear kind of thing. But like the jewelry really made a big difference with that, and I was like really surprised. And yeah, this is the other outfit where I thought that like she was just like, oh, I'm at home, so she's just in her like jean shorts, a little top and her flip-flops, just like enjoying her time at home in the warm weather. And then finally it comes to her outdoor stuff. I did struggle a little bit with her outdoor stuff. I wasn't quite sure what I wanted Octavia in. I wasn't sure if I wanted something like really sort of like woolly, or something that was like a little bit posh, but I went for something like a little bit more I guess a little bit more urban, sort of fitting her style a little bit better with this like little jacket. I decided to not go too wrapped up because she lives in Del Sol Valley, and because they're celebrities, I kind of have the sort of opinion, if you like, that they probably don't leave Del Sol Valley very often, so she doesn't really need to be that wrapped up warm when it's cold. So yeah, that's kind of like why I let her off a little bit with not wrapping up too much. I did look to see if there was a scarf to maybe make it look a little bit warmer, but I like the scarf like clipped weird, so that wasn't really like an option. And this like little second cold weather fit is like really simple. just like little black top and trousers, and I just like thought again that felt like she picked that out just for like chilling out at home, like that's what she really wants to look like day to day, but unfortunately the stylist does not allow her to. So now we're on to Little Orange, and unfortunately Thorne's scandal continues. So in my mind, Thorne is, well, he's just an ass basically, but he really is trying to take advantage of Orange's, like the fact that Orange is a child basically and doesn't really have any say in what their life is going to be like at the moment. So to sort of get away from the LGBTQ plus scandal that he has going on, Thorne decides that Orange is now going to be they them instead of he him. Like, Orange never asked for that. This was something that Thorne decided and made a big thing about it, announced it on social media. There was like articles about it, and poor little like Orange is just like having to go along with it. Doesn't really understand themselves, like whether they are they them or he him or she her or any other pronoun that exists. Orange just wants to be a kid and just figure himself out or their self out. So that's like one element of it. The second element of the scandal, as it continues, as because Thorne is basically just out for making as much money as he can and sort of trying to like take advantage of any situation possible. He did a brand deal with a kids clothing company, and that meant that unfortunately like Orange is basically dressed solely in this one kids clothing company because all the pictures have to go on social media. They have to do like little videos and all that kind of kids like influencer stuff. Really like the way that like a lot of people, like recently there's been like stuff in like the news and stuff about children being taken advantage of by their parents, basically for fame and nothing else really, and money, because of social media and because like they kind of control these kids' lives, so they don't really like get a chance to get away from it and to not do what their parents say. So this is kind of why like Orange's clothes, I've kind of stuck to these kind of like pinky colours, beige colours, just like because I kind of wanted a bit of like a cohesive sort of flow between all their outfits. The only ones that are different are formal, and we'll get to formal in a minute, but like I used a lot of the clothing from the kids kit that I don't remember what it's called, but it's basically the one that has a lot of like athleisure kind of clothes for kids. They kind of look a little bit more mature, less kid-like, a little bit like Sad Beige Baby, but if Sad Beige Babies were allowed to have a little bit of colour. That kind of like vibe going on with them. So that's what I kind of went with Orange. Oh, their name escaped me for a second then. And then like hair wise, I did this cute little hair from the new pack, the Adventured Wakes. I really love this little hair. I think it's absolutely just so cute. I think it's great because especially as at the moment at least Orange is they them, so it can swing for either masculine or feminine, and it just is like kind of like a little bit funky and sort of like a little bit different. So I can imagine that like maybe a celebrity kid would have their hair like that, or an influencer child would have their hair like that. But I just I really loved it, and I just think it looks really good on Orange, and it really suits like the kind of vibe that I wanted to go for them, that like they're kind of like, they're not just a child, they're a whole package, like they're an image, they're always constantly selling something. So then we get to like the formal outfits, and I just have such a problem with the formal wear for children. I find it really difficult, like especially on the more masculine, like if you're doing boys, rather than like feminine where there's like dresses and stuff. I find that like there's not really like much that is like formal. It's either super formal, as in like put the kid in a tux, or it's really casual and doesn't look like a formal outfit. And this is especially so for the individual thing. So if you want to put your kid in like a shirt and trousers, instead of like a full body outfit, it's just really frustrating because there's just like no formal trousers. There's like one pair that can pass as formal trousers. The other trousers that are there, they're either jeans or they're like joggers, and that's just you can't really pull them off for formal. Like jeans maybe, depending on the style of the sim, but like most like formal wear calls for actual trousers, like slacks if you like, whatever you want to call them, and there just is none. And even like shorts wise, I had this problem when I was doing my little spooky video where I was trying to get Alexander Goth to be Pugsley Adams. Like the shorts, they're just on, like the shorts are either like swimming trunks, they're denim, or they're like sporty shorts. None of them are like little slacks kind of shorts, which really would have been perfect for a little Pugsley to wear. And it's just so frustrating trying to do formal wear. I know like they don't really wear formal wear that often in the game, but like it's just I just want to be able to dress like my kids as whole children and not have to just like bodge something together for one of the outfit categories because that's all that there is available. So like I really think that like the Sims need to work on giving the kids some better formal like wear, especially in the separates part. So the tops and the trousers, the like full body outfits aren't so bad. There are quite a few. There's some that are a little bit more casual. There are some that are like tuxy, like what I'm putting on orange at the moment. But it just really frustrates me. So yeah, that's one of my little like niggly like parts of The Sims at the moment, and has been for a little while actually, that I wish I could like just click my fingers and change, but unfortunately that is not the case. So yes, that's my little rant of the day. I really rant like that, especially with The Sims. Like most of the time I pretty much enjoy everything that like goes on in there, but there are just some like little niggly bits that sometimes just really get on my nerves. So occasionally you just need to rant. So moving on with Orange, he's got this like this little two-piece tracksuit for athletic wear. I did that one because it's like the one that kind of looks like it's kind of like part of a brand, like it should have a logo or something on it. That was like what I was thinking. Like I just think that like he's just like a little like show horse. He's just got to put all these outfits on and let his dad like parade him round and take his photos, and it's just like I just feel really bad for poor little Orange. And yeah, in sleepwear I did like one where it was just dressing gown and shoes, like, and then I did the cute little pajamas. I do quite like those little pajamas, but again I tried to make it sort of like feel like they were kind of like sort of branded, like they're not just any dressing gown or just any pajamas. They're like a brand of pyjamas and an extremely expensive dressing gown that you would never buy your children in a million years, because it would be way too expensive and we'd get wrecked in like 5 minutes with a child that won't sit still for any more than 5 seconds. In the party wear, I did kind of sort of let that loose a little bit. I did try and still keep the sort of like similar-ish colours. So I did this little dungaree set, which I think is growing together. I just thought like I quite like the little pastel sort of top with the little sort of check design. I just thought it looked really cute, and it kind of did, even though it wasn't quite the same as like some of the other outfits, it kind of sort of fitted with a similar vibe. So maybe like it's the same brand but maybe a slightly different range from their brand. And again with these other little dungarees, I thought we'd keep with the dungarees. I'm a big dungaree fan. I wear a lot of dungarees myself. But yeah, I just thought that like things like that, just wanted like little bits of like sort of like as if Orange's clothes just were like all branded, and there was nothing that was just like because Orange wanted to wear it. And like one of the things that actually I meant to mention at the beginning of Orange's part was that I did make Orange's favourite colour orange. Just because like I thought it was like fun that like Orange's name is Orange, so Orange loves orange. And yeah, basically I just thought that like it was really heartbreaking that Orange has all these like clothes, like these really expensive clothes, but Orange isn't allowed to wear the clothes that like they really want. Like they love orange, they love the colour orange, and they really want to like wear an orange t-shirt or like have an orange hat or something, but their dad won't let them because their dad is evil and just wants to take advantage of poor little Orange and earn loads of money from Orange and try to use Orange to make like repair their damaged image. And I just I don't know, I've got a real hate on for Thorne recently. And so yeah, I hope I'm not the only one that has decided that they really, really do have some extreme beef with Thorne. But like with Orange, like I just feel really sorry, like especially like because in like the law, in like the household description, it does say that like Orange is sort of naive, and I kind of feel like that's part of this whole like sheltered like that like because Thorne has like turned Orange into this like little mini like model basically, that Orange doesn't really get to have any friends and doesn't really know anything about the real world. And so in some ways like Thorne is really naive like in terms of the real world, but then in other aspects like Orange is really like sort of like grown up and just had to put up and shut up like adults do, like like when you can't get your own way. But I just kind of like feel really sorry for Orange, and like I kind of, it makes me kind of want to play the family out a little bit, like in one of my own saves, like play the story out and I don't know, destroy Thorne, because in my mind he's like such a demon, and like he's just like making his wife and his kid miserable. And I don't know, I'm not entirely sure, but I think that maybe Octavia is pregnant when the game starts. If she's not pregnant when the game starts, she, in my games at least, always happens to get pregnant really, really quickly with like a second kid. So it just feels like really harsh that she just wants to have her family and like spend time with her kids and stuff, and then yeah, she has to deal with Thorne. But Orange is having their little fashion show now, so I am going to say dag, please like and subscribe because it really helps, and I'll see you all in my next one. I hope you have an awesome day.